Hi guys, Phil from Tech for Techs here. Today we're going to be looking at this AFOX graphics card. It's a GeForce 1050Ti. AFOX is not so well known in the UK as some of the other brands out there. We're going to take a look at it and see if it's any good. First, here's a quick video from our sponsors. Okay then guys, so we're looking at this graphics card today. It's a GTX1050Ti. It's a 4GB version. And it's made by AFOX, which probably not so well known, to be honest, compared to some of the other brands out there. But to be honest with you, most graphics cards are all reference designs anyway, so it's basically what NVIDIA sends them, and then they just stick their own cooling on top. So a lot of the time, there's not a huge difference between the models and makes. Some may be a little bit overclocked and so forth, but that's usually down to, again, the cooling system they actually put on them. But let's have a look at it. So as you can see, you've got the AFOX brand in there. You can see the NVIDIA logos, GeForce, Pure Video, HD, all your different bits and bobs like that. It's good for gaming, videos, camera, blah 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 blah. On the back, it basically shows you all the information there, bullet points of what it does and all that, and the other, well, everyone knows what a graphics card does. It's for gaming, or obviously video editing and so forth. But let's open it up, see what we've got. So inside, it's a plain box inside. You've got your driver disc, but as always with graphics cards and any new item, we always recommend you download the latest version from the website. You've got your quick installation guide, tells you how to fit it. Most people on this channel should hopefully know how to fit a graphics card, but if you don't, it's usually pretty straightforward. But obviously always make sure your motherboard supports it, which most do these days, or you've got the right power connections depending on the graphics card. It does come with a 2 Molex to a 6-pin adapter in there with it. Personally, I don't like adapters. Personally, I think you should have if you're going to have a graphics card that's got a 6-pin connector, you need a power supply which is going to feed directly into it. I hate adapters. They can cause so many issues and problems, from crashing, and in a few cases we've seen adapters where there's too much voltage going through them and basically they start melting, and we've even seen them set on fire. So, but putting that aside, all else we've got in there is the actual graphics card, which is bubble wrapped. So let's open it up, see what we've got, see what's different about it compared to a normal one. So it's bubble wrapped, and then you've got the anti-static bag. Open it up, you've got a bit of foam protecting the back. So the back of the card, not much to say, to be honest with you. You can see the main 4 screws around the GPU area where the heatsink's connected and so forth. It's got a DisplayPort, DVI, DisplayPort, DVI and HDMI connection on there. It is a dual slot, but the second slot is just for ventilation, so that's not too bad. It doesn't have a lot of weight to it, so it's quite a lightweight card. And then on the front side, if you want to call it your front, you've got your 2 fans on there. So otherwise, nothing special to look at. Looks alright. Doesn't look like there's any LEDs or anything like that on there. It's a straightforward graphics card, but in most cases, what do you need? Do you really need a flashing light on it to say it's a certain brand? Generally no, because most cases people never look at it. But as I said, otherwise it is a straightforward connection. The actual connector for the 6-pin connector is on the side or the back end, depending on what you want to call it. But otherwise, just plug in and away you go. But as I said, adapter, it does come with one, but I recommend a 6-pin direct connection from the motherboard. and not using an adapter, because they can cause so many problems. And we've seen it many times in our repair shop where people have bought new graphics cards, put it in their own machine, and then for some reason it's crashing or whatever, and there's just not enough power or juice going to the graphics card, and these adapters can cause so many problems. So again, there we go, it's the AFOX. It's a 1050 Ti graphics card. We'll give it some performance tests and give it a little bit of overclocking as well, see how much we can get out of it, and see what it's able to do. So overall, this card works as expected. It performs pretty much on par with all the other 1050 Ti's that we've seen. You will find that overclocking you can get, or at least on this card, around about an 8% increase in performance from overclocking, which is always nice. But again, we got similar results on other 1050 Ti's. Even when overclocked though, the maximum temperature we were able to get on the card was 52 degrees Celsius, and that was in a H500 Cooler Master case. In games, depending on what you play, we found that it runs well on medium settings just fine, and even some games run absolutely perfectly fine on high or even higher. Okay, so AFOX may not be as well known as other vendors on the market, but they have actually been around for quite a while and were originally part of Foxconn, hence the name AFOX. The AFOX 1050 Ti 4GB graphics card does what it's supposed to do without any extras that you would probably not need anyway. There were no fancy RGB lights, the all over the top styling. The fans blades probably seem a slightly lower quality than others we've seen on the market, but they do what they're supposed to do and keep it nice and cool at 52 degrees even when overclocked. Overall, this is a very good card that comes with a 3-year return to base warranty. I have no issues using these cards in our own systems if needs be.